are July 23rd to August 22nd. What can you expect for the month of January 2017? Let's tune in and find out. So a lot of you may be traveling. Some of you may be moving. Maybe an unexpected move, a job offer may have come up, a romantic proposition may have come up, could be both. So you may find yourself moving towards the end of the month. Some of you may be just finding you may have been traveling, or maybe even traveling right now, maybe find yourself traveling again at the end of the month. You just want to know that, make sure that whatever you're putting your energy into, that there's a reciprocation on the other side. And it's also something that you really want. Because I feel like some of you may get caught in a trap from the past and in repeating old behaviors or patterns where you're not really seeing, like you're living a little bit in a fantasy land of the way you want it to be versus the way it really is. So the problems may be bigger than you're letting on, or the other person romantically may not be on the same page you are. So for a small percentage of you, that may be true. And the rest of you you're already cleared to go. Okay? So since we're on romance already, let's talk about those of you in a coupled romance. What can you expect for the month of January? Well, there's this continual sense of happiness and satisfaction, building, timing, creating a life together, things together. Feels like there's a lot of synergy and energy with you and your partner. It does feel like you may have a little impatience about maybe your partner and they're needing to do things a certain way or in a certain order, and your frustration of them not being more flexible, or why does it have to be done like that? Why can't it be done like this? Like being able to see more or a bigger picture. But they nonetheless need to stick to the methodical way in which they do it, right? And so your job is just to have patience with it, right? And I also feel that it squeezes my heart. It does create some fear for you. And all there is to do is communicate that, right? When you say that, that makes me feel, right? So it's those basic levels of communication that help clear the air and give you information. And the other thing is if you're in a new relationship, a newly committed relationship, this is about building trust. It's about being able to trust the other person is going to say what they're going to do, right? So it is part of developing that muscle and being able to trust the partner, and that they're going to follow through and do things accordingly. Now, for those of you that are single and interested in having a long-term relationship, what can you expect for the month of January? So some of you may be coming out of a relationship or a situation where the illusion is cracked, where you see now exactly who this other person is, you see exactly their faults, and for some of you it's just fallen apart and you're single again now. And if you want a relationship with somebody new, I do feel like they're showing me to put the mirror up on yourself and to see that, make sure that you're different so that you attract somebody else who's different, who's better than the last relationship. So in order to attract somebody different from the previous relationship, you have to be different. And so whatever it was you didn't like about that other person, generally it's about, one of the things is taking a little bit more time, slowing relationships down, not rushing in to being too available or being too sexual too quick. There's a lot of, because that's a fire energy, right? And it can explode things really fast, and when there's not a foundation. So Leos, if you want a long-term relationship, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, it's just about slowing down, having you do your inner work. There's a lot of opportunity this month to really take care of you, to nurture you, and heal your heart. Because I feel like a lot of you have a broken heart, and you're trying to be with somebody else to heal that heart. And that's not necessarily the right dynamic for you. It's more of a temporary band-aid. So if you heal your own heart, you're going to get much further ahead, and you will ultimately then attract the right person. So this month is really about healing yourself so that you can then be a good candidate to attract another person. And I do feel at the end of the month we have a new moon in Aquarius, and there's a lot of good creative energy around that new moon that could really help you take you to the next level with your communication and with understanding relationships and knowing exactly what you want. And some of you may discover, I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm too young, or I'm not over the last one, or I've still got this, right? In which case you may decide to just date and not try and make somebody the one, which, just trust your instincts about where you're at with it because it'll be healthy for you. Okay, so let's move into career and money for Leos. So you're going to have to use your instincts, Leo, with your career this month as to sorting out what people do versus what they mean. So you may have to really pin people down to understand exactly where they're coming from. Or do they say yes to me or not, right? So if you're in sales, you might get a lot of maybes, and you may have to work a little harder to get those yeses, okay? If you're in a work environment, there may be some muddy communication or lack of clarity where you don't know where you stand with somebody. And you may have to kind of like really confront them. Now, if I was going to do that, I certainly would wait until the end of the month. I would just gut it out because we have Mercury retrograde, which hampers all sorts of communication until January 8th or 9th. And it doesn't really completely let up until the end of the month, around the 28th, when we have that new moon of Aquarius. And then we have a full moon in Cancer around January 12th. It can be problematic for actually all the signs. First of all, Cancers are extremely sensitive. And with this, there can be information that comes in that slams you. You weren't expecting. It was like, what? So it's like shocking information. And for Leos, this can be about, feels more personal, like it could be something about you. And it could be something that you learn about yourself that you didn't know about yourself. Now, sometimes that's painful. Sometimes it's hard to look in the mirror and see our own faults. Or it's hard to look in the mirror and see that, wow, we killed that relationship. Like, wow, our pushing them pushed them away. Or, wow, our need to XYZ killed the relationship, right? So just be aware there may be some, fallout that happens around this January 12th that may be hard to hear. So just know whatever it is, you're going to recover for sure. And by the end of the month, there's going to be this renewed buoyancy to your life, okay? And now listen, if it's been smooth sailing with your personal relationships between now and then this doesn't apply to you, okay? This is for somebody else who's had some challenges in their relationships, okay? But the bottom line is there's going to be something revealed about yourself that you're going to see about yourself. It can be a little painful, nobody likes to see their stuff. So just trust your instincts, and it's going to be fine. It's really about getting to know you better, and then embracing that part of yourself that's kind of ugly, and vowing to be better. Okay. So let's look at career and money. So here's the thing, Leo, if you're not making money, it's just because you're lazy and you're not focused, okay? Because there is a lot of money to be had in your sign right now. So things should be going great and good for you. So what you want to be doing is finding your path, finding your way, finding something that works for you, okay? I think in doing so, there's a lot of money that you can make this month that you weren't even expecting to make. Those of you that are already in a job, I feel like you could take on more hours. I feel like there may be a feather in your hat. You want to be careful that you're not seen as too bossy or too, I've got all the answers, right? Because it can be off-putting. So you just want to gauge your coworkers, and even though the name of the game is to always be at the top of the pile, so you get the promotion, you get the most money, it's also about if you can make friends on the way up instead of enemies, why not? Okay? So it's just having that little bit of awareness. Now, um, for health for Leos, so some of you may be a little tired. Some of you may have your hormones off a little bit, and they're just now kind of getting back on track. Um, so you may notice, like with the hormones, you may notice like your hair drier or your skin drier or things like that. So I feel like if you haven't had them checked, you want to get them checked. Otherwise, I feel like it could just be that this exhaustion of burning the candle at both ends that's creating this little bit of imbalance going on in your system. But I don't pick up on anything big at all. Which, for women that can, we can create some cysts or things in our breasts. Um, so there's a lot of different ways that it can manifest, but I don't feel like it being problematic. Okay, I just feel like I just stay on top of it and you'll be fine. Okay, anything unexpected for Leos? Well, some of the unexpected things will maybe that you don't get what you want, that you were sort of anticipating being engaged, or you were anticipating being pregnant, or you were anticipating getting a new job, or you were anticipating moving someplace and it doesn't happen. So there may be an unexpected jolt that happens this month that you don't get to go where you wanted to go. So there may be some disappointment that happens in the middle of the month with something that you had planned that gets derailed. So, what you need to know is that if it was really meant to be, it's going to happen, right? And calm yourself that way. And just know that built-in restriction is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But all in all, Leos, it feels like you are, in the king, right? You are Leo the lion. You're sitting in the lion's throne. So everything can go your way. It's just important that you don't get too uppity, right? About everything going your way and make all the little peasants really feel like peasants, because you don't want a target on your back. So it's really about being interested in other people and what's going on for them. And for those of you that are really, if your life is not working, it's only because of you. And then you need to stop, take care of yourself, look at the wounds. What's holding you back? What's the negative self-talk that's keeping you down? That's making you feel not good enough, or that's keeping you in a loop of addiction or of abusive behavior or toxic relationships. And just vow to make the changes and get the help you need. And your whole life, 2017, can be completely different. So if you're in that space, Leo, there's help everywhere around you. Just have the courage to ask for it and then follow through, and your life will look completely different. All right, Leos, thank you so much for allowing me to support you, and I appreciate you sharing and liking my intuitive astrology. And I wish you nothing but a happy and prosperous and abundant and healthy 2017. And have a terrific month, everyone. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon.